Back, and we're glad we're back.
Oh, man. Who needs the boss tones when we have you?
I know. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Crep from the 80s. Yeah. We are back, and this is our part 2 of 1987. Things that are celebrating 35 years. And not just things, but the things that we like.
This is chunk. This is another chunky episode, guys.
Again, I have to state that these are things that we like from 1987. Because I did see some
comments.
I did get some comments that were like, I didn't see that. I was like, well, that's because I don't like that. You do, which is great. Yes. And that's your list.
Yes.
And you can let us know your list.
And we're happy, share your love of things.
Yeah, but just don't say, why isn't that? Because I don't like it. That's why. So these are going to be the TV, toys, music, and video games.
Yeah, well, I'll run through those.
From 1987 that we enjoy. Enjoyed then, enjoyed now. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
No, yeah. Well, there's some things that, are on the list, even from last time, where I liked Three Men and a Baby when I was a kid. I don't like it now.
Oh, well, see,
you know what I mean? Like, some things that, but I watched it so many times back then. And the same thing with, some of these TV shows, I'm probably not watching them now, but I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I guess I have that on here.
Yeah, that's probably the music remains forever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What do you want to start with?
TV.
Fine. Okay.
So 1987, 35 years, man.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget. Full House.
Yeah. Yep.
I got Full House on here.
Oh, sad one.
It just came out how he died, which really sucks. It is so weird.
I thought the opposite. I thought, what a way to die, because he didn't feel any pain. It wasn't like he, it lasted like cancer or something. It was like he died in his sleep. He hit his head and he died in his sleep.
I know, but weird.
Oh, totally weird. I mean? It's a
Final
Final Destination type of death. It just, I was like, it could have been more sad.
Where did he hit his head? You know what I mean? Like how he just bump his head and then
I probably don't want to know, because then whatever it is, I'll probably be worrying that I will do Final Destination, riding in the back of a log truck. I'm always like, nope, get away from that.
Anyway,
but yeah,
Full House,
great show.
Yeah, man, it was it's a show
Everywhere
that
you look.
I still watch. I still watch it.
Yeah, it's a very good show.
I watched it from the beginning. I watched it till the end.
Did you watch the Netflix ones?
So I watched off and on.
Okay.
And I'll say this about it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was extremely consistent with the original show.
Yes. Yep.
The first 2 episodes were because they were really winking to the audience and playing it up and sort of playing with it. And I got that, but after that, it just sort of went right back into this is what happened after whatever how many years. So it worked. And then, it later became part of the lineup of TGIF.
Yep.
Which started in '89.
Beautiful time. It was.
Yeah, everybody loved TGIF.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So Full House.
Yeah.
You know?
Perfect.
And again, Candace Cameron, I was the same age as Candace Cameron, so I was going through the trials and tribulations.
Oh, really?
But
You're the same age as her now? Or
in real life,
in real
I'm the same age as
DJ. Or as
yes,
Ash?
Candace Cameron.
Okay.
Yes, as DJ Tanner.
I see.
So any of those sitcoms that I love, if there were like kids or teens,
Yeah.
I related to them immediately. You know,
Joe.
regardless of me being a man and her being a woman. I love the hijinxery. And of course,
Stay.
the 1-2 punch of Stamos and Coulier.
Yeah.
As the rascally uncles.
What a riot.
So, next on my list is a show. I only put it on here because it was significant. And I only watched it back then because of my aunt, who was a big Star Trek fan. But Star Trek: The Next Generation started.
Yep.
I'm not a Star Trek guy, so again, like I said, this would be one of those things where I do not watch this.
Yeah.
But I had to include it because it is significant to the time, and like I said,
At the time, you liked it.
I didn't like it. It was more of a, well, my aunt's watching it. It's science fiction. I guess I'll check it out. See, because she also took me to all the like Star Trek movies that were coming out.
I knew that.
And I was just like, I get it, but this is, I don't know. I've always had an issue with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this show.
Yeah, lots of people do.
Yeah.
It's just, Next on my list, I liked then, I do not really like now. And I have not even bothered really it's not one of those shows that I enjoy or I would have owned it. But Married with Children started
That's on my list.
in 87.
Yeah.
I watched it then because it was dirty and
Yeah.
I knew there was going to probably be some busty women on there and that type of stuff. I never had a crush on like Christina Applegate like so many guys did.
Oh, really?
Never.
I didn't either. I didn't know people like.
Oh yeah, people like loved her.
Okay.
And I was like, no, she's not my bag as a 10-year-old.
Well, I was even younger, so I did watch Married with Children for sure. So.
I mean, it was on 10 years, it lasted like so fucking long.
Yeah. So I probably watched it when it went into syndication. I was a little bit older, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably laugh at it now if I gave a shit to
Probably would.
rewatch.
Yeah.
There's things I certainly remember that were iconic about the show. But it wasn't in my rotation. It's not something that I hold dear.
Right.
Like I do like Different Strokes.
Yeah.
Any of those shows.
Well, I do like it. Okay.
I mean, and you got to remember that at that time, that was like Fox. Fox was just like starting.
Yeah.
Fox was a new thing, and I actually have a few Fox shows that started.
Okay.
And my next one actually is 21 Jump Street.
Oh, wow. Okay.
21 Jump Street I did watch, but I do not have it in my collection now. I have revisited the show because it's been on like Amazon Prime or something like that.
Is it
and
good?
It's what I like about it now, I think, is just all the actors and guest stars that were on it.
It's like every famous person as a
just a lot of like teen people
Yeah,
from back then that you're just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he's popping in there and
Yeah.
stuff like that. The idea is funny to me, especially because like, premise wise, they weren't that far out of school to begin with. The cops,
Yeah.
these undercover,
Right.
young cops,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to go back to school to be undercover. It's just like, okay, I mean, it fits because they all fucking look like, definitely like, back then, 80s teens looked 35 anyway.
Right.
Unless it was a John Hughes movie.
Yeah.
Which, he did it right. But
they look, well, they are kids.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody else was like, nope. You're going to play a 15-year-old. You're 25. You're 30.
Yeah.
But back then, 10 years old, I was like, whoa, these kids are cops.
Isn't the DeLuise?
Yeah, Peter DeLuise.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And then later he left and we got fucking, what's his name? The low budget Johnny Depp.
Richard Grieco.
Yeah, Richard Grieco.
Classic.
Booker was his name.
I
fucking piece of shit.
I did not watch this show like that. I mean, I'm definitely familiar with it. I know what it is, but I don't think I watched it.
Yeah.
Like I just know the concept, and maybe I saw some episodes, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a show I 100% watched, and this was because in school they played it. And this was Degrassi Junior High.
Well, of course, Degrassi's on there.
Degrassi Junior High started in 1987. In the U.S. here, it played on PBS. And
that's wild. It had to have been cut. Was it cut?
No, because PBS was not.
Yeah.
PBS was considered. It had like masterpiece theater and shit like that. And you could get away with certain things, but
Baldry.
So they it was a so they would show this in like class in different classes in our school.
That's wild.
And then it just became, because of showing it in class, it was just like, well, I'm gonna watch it home.
Yeah.
These are kids.
One of the greatest TV show theme songs of all time. I love that.
I mean, I think it's one of the greatest television shows.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'm not denying the show either. I really think it's a great theme song.
Degrassi Junior High, Degrassi High, School's Out, which was the movie.
Great movie.
Which was the first F word on television anywhere. I mean, Canadian, but
yeah,
anywhere.
Yeah.
But that is in my collection. I have, of course, continued to watch Degrassi.
Yep.
And it's
such a good show.
It's kind of the backbone of a project that we're working on right now.
Just one of the best shows.
Yeah, everybody wants something. They'll never give up. So next is, again, this is a show. Man, you're right. You're killing it with that
assessment.
Some of these I haven't watched to this day,
Well,
but I certainly did when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So next on my list is Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
With Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman, and I watched this all the time. In fact, I remember watching it at Grandma and Grandpa's house when I would go over, because it was one of those shows that I was really into the fact that he was a lion. I was just like, whoa, like, what is this mystical beast who's like fighting crime in the sewers and shit like that. So it definitely was really cool to me.
I bet you that doesn't hold up.
I don't know. I haven't that as well as on like
it is on
the streaming services.
It is, yeah. Because I remember being like, again, I haven't seen it in 30 years or whatever, but I was like, I wonder if this is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I should give it a shot again.
Probably should.
But I definitely did watch it back then. And that was also an aunt show. Like if my aunt was watching it, I definitely was
like
watching
Passion.
Yeah.
The main.
Next, so this is a weird one. This was off and on for me. But it's called A Different World.
And
it was the Cosby Show spinoff, where I mean, it was, you know, it was, what was it? Was it high school or was it
No,
like
they're college.
college? It was
Yep.
college, right?
Sinbad. What's his name? Jamal. No.
No, that was Cosby.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah, I know, but what's his name?
Kadeem Hardison.
Kadeem Hardison. Yeah. So.
But, you know, everybody was wearing those damn glasses.
Oh, yeah.
I had them.
Yeah.
Flip up sunglasses. But it was off and on. I wasn't, you know, again, I was 10 years old, but obviously it appealed more to me as I got older.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it religiously, sort of like I watched The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was weekly for me. That's because the whole family watched Cosby Show.
Wasn't it like the highest rated show on
Cosby Show was
NBC,
huge.
like period?
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
Um,
Until like Cheers or something.
and then, well, I mean, Cheers was going the same time.
No, but I mean, like, I feel like Cosby was like number one. And
As far as
maybe
ratings?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, they were always sort of neck and neck.
Yeah.
I mean, Cheers lasted longer than Cosby.
Right.
Cheers was like 11 years.
Right. Anyway,
Um,
different world's good.
But yeah, again, I don't know if I'd watch it now because I don't know if it connected to me as much as other shows did, you know? Where I can watch Cosby now and I could laugh at it.
I could probably watch Different World.
I could see you really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Alright, what's next?
Okay, so this was a syndicated show. This was a show that when I talk about, only like Meredith knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But this was a show. It didn't last. It lasted like, I think 3 seasons, maybe 4. But I watched it, and then I watched it in reruns. And I occasionally put it in my Saturday morning sleepover rotation. But the show is called Out of This World.
No idea what the hell that is.
So it's a sitcom about this this girl who has an alien father who talks to her through this like special like glowing triangle thing.
It's a comedy?
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sitcom.
Yeah.
And because she's like half alien, she's imbued with like special powers and shit like that.
I mean, sounds like I would watch that. Sounds like something I would want to write. Like.
And the opening song was, "Would you like to swing on a star?"
I think you've put it in Saturday Morning
Every
Sleepover.
moonbeam hold me together. But yeah, Out of This World.
Let us know if you know what that is.
I dug it.
I mean, the internet.
and it's fun to revisit a show like that because of the premise. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the 80s were awesome with stupidity like that. And
So.
we got a lot of weird shows where people had magical powers and like sitcoms.
Ghost, somebody, alien, thing, or somebody.
Yeah, you know.
What a time to be alive.
I know. Now we didn't experience this until a little later, but I put it on here because this was the original year. So 1987 gave us Good Morning Miss Bliss.
I wrote it down.
But we didn't see it until it went off the Disney Channel.
Okay.
And then it started to play on like other channels. Like they bought it or you know whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was the start of Saved by the Bell,
Which we do a whole episode on in the channel if you're Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Extremely
Morning, Miss
significant, of course, to us.
Still is.
You know, Saved by the Bell properly. The Saved by the Bell moniker was 1989.
Yep.
But Miss Bliss, it all started in 1987.
Yeah. I want to get that Peter Engel book.
Oh, I didn't know there was a book.
Yeah, they've talked about it on Zack to the Future.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Peter Engel wrote a
What?
book about all this shit.
Oh, man.
In Saved by the Bell, of course, is a huge part of that book
Hmm.
that I've heard, according to these guys. So, yeah, that's a book I really want to read, just because that guy was everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. And the show is still going.
I'm watching. It's so funny.
It is funny.
So
there's 2 seasons
so funny
on Peacock, and they're both great.
It's one of the best. One of these type requels. I guess as people are saying now.
The reboot. I mean, it is a reboot.
Well,
it is.
It's a continuation.
But it's rebooting
the
franchise.
Yeah.
It is a reboot.
Yeah, I guess. Very good.
But yes, it is very funny.
Very funny.
And they get it right. Again, so I don't know if you watched this. It only lasted 4 seasons.
Only. It's like 1,000 years in the 80s. Like, salute your shorts. Timeless.
And it is nowhere to be found anywhere at all. And it's very interesting. I'm very curious as to why. But I love this show, and I wish there was a proper release of this show. But it's called Just the 10 of Us.
I wrote it down.
1987.
Yep.
And it, in 89, it did start the TGIF rotation, but it didn't last much longer after that. But Just the 10 of Us was a fabulous fucking show. And the episodes that I have found that are in decent condition, I have put in my Saturday morning sleepovers. But it's a great show, great theme song, and it is a spin-off of Growing Pains.
Yep, I remember that.
Coach Lubbock was on Growing Pains, and his daughters showed up on Growing Pains. Funny enough, which happens several times in Growing Pains, but a lot of you would get the same actors playing different characters throughout the run of Growing Pains. So the Lubbock girls were also different women, like different characters on Growing Pains. But then they were the Lubbock girls on Growing Pains as well.
Okay.
Brad Pitt played 2 different characters on Growing Pains.
Oh, really?
One was like a fucking rock star that Ben loved so much and turned out to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like don't meet your idols type thing. But he also, in a different episode, was one of Carol's like love interests.
Okay.
All
right.
They did it a lot. Huh. And they did it with the Lubbock girls as well.
But specifically, they did it on Growing Pains.
Yeah, it was weird. The
casting director's like, I don't know. Get that guy back.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I watched this show.
Just the 10 of Us, man. It's good.
But I
doing it the best I can.
Yeah, I remember that. I haven't watched that in forever. Same thing with probably what you're going to say next.
It was awesome. It was dope. Of course, they had Heather Langenkamp, which to me, as a 10-year-old, I was like, Nancy!
Yeah.
I was like all about it. The brother was obsessed with Freddy Krueger. So he had like horror posters and Freddy shit all over his room all the time. Always wearing Freddy shirts.
That's cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And again, I was
into every
almost the same age as the kid. Like he was like a year or 2 older than me.
Yeah.
And now that kid is like a big director. And he's directed some really cool, dope shit. What did he just? He just directed fucking one of the Marvel shows. He was like a showrunner and
Loki, the Rick and Morty.
It might have been WandaVision.
Matt Scheck.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that guy's. He's from. I think he's from Rick and Morty and.
Oh well, that's the. But yes, that's the brother.
He's been directing a bunch of stuff. Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Matt Scheck, guys.
So yeah, just 10 of Us, dope. Another one. Now this I do have in my collection because it's available and I like the show. Again, it only lasted like 3.5, 4 years, maybe. But you can only get the first 2 seasons on DVD. But I got them, and that is My Two Dads.
Yep, it's on my list.
This was a fun show.
Who's the daughter?
That's Stacy Keenan.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who later went on to do Step by Step.
Yep.
Day by day.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched this show. I think it was in USA.
Well, reruns were on
Okay.
USA. Yeah.
Reruns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I
man.
watched.
It was good.
US.
Giovanni Ribisi was like the love interest.
Man.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I don't remember who the
Paul
dads-
Reiser.
Is that
It
who
was
the-
Paul Reiser
Okay.
and Greg Evigan.
That guy with like the mullet and
And he was the cool dad,
cool
and Paul
dad.
Reiser was like the more stuffy dad.
yeah.
And
Shit, man,
they
yeah.
both were with the same woman, but they didn't know who was the father.
That's the premise.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. And then what? They just kicked the mom out, and they're like,
No,
"We
the
can raise
mom's.
this
I can't. I think the
kid."
mom supposedly died, or the mom left, or something like that, and was like, "Here's your daughter." And like she knocked on the door.
tests. Yeah.
Yeah, and
No
like,
more Povich on this universe.
But I don't
Yeah.
know. I love the show.
Yeah, that was a
and
good
I
show.
still watch it, and it still shows up in my rotation.
Mm.
Now here's another show starting on Fox, the Tracy Allman Show.
Tracy Ullman show was on my list.
It was funny. Tracy Allman is hilarious.
Still is.
She's,
Catch her on the latest season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
yeah, she's an amazing character actress who just slips into all these weird,
She is
goofy, funny roles.
her and Amy Sedaris. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
really
Those guys,
make me cry.
they're from the same cloth.
They
those
really
two.
are. They're so fucking funny. They're such talented ladies. Yeah.
And I guess, to an extent, I guess I could have put The Simpsons on here too, because The Simpsons did start
Yes.
in '87
Yeah.
on this show.
I mean, I didn't put it because
as little
it's
animation
89,
clips.
but yes,
it was
yes,
just
yes.
little cliplets, little snippets of animation. It was The Simpsons, but this was a sketch show, and it was just funny, man. It was a funny show,
Yeah.
and she's still hilarious. And yeah, fucking Tracy Ullman, man.
Yeah, she's
Gotta
good.
get on that.
You have to.
As goofy fucking comedy, and I just it appealed to me big time.
Well, plus there wasn't... Sketch comedy shows are really hard to get. Like, good.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't always work out
No, it doesn't.
that well. So, you get an SNL, and then you get a Mad TV, which will have, like, some good sketches.
Some of it was good. Like,
Living Color was mostly always good.
yeah, and Living Color was great. But
Um,
remember Fox had a show called The Edge?
No, I don't think it
I remember that. It was called The Edge, and Jennifer Aniston was on it. She was a fucking sketch comedian on
Is
this
this,
show.
like, obviously pre-Friends?
Oh, yeah.
Leprechaun?
This might be during the same time as
Okay.
Leprechaun.
I
but
can't see her being, like... in
It
that
was
sort of
terrible.
role. Yeah.
No, I mean it wasn't a good sketch.
Like, I like Jennifer Aniston just fine, but not like that.
Next show on my list that was 1987 was Jim Henson's The Storyteller.
Oh.
And this was 2 seasons.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, this was very cool. John
Yeah.
Hurt was like the storyteller. Him and his puppet dog.
Yep. Yep.
And then they would go into these awesome tales and by the Henson Company.
I need to watch. Do you have that?
I do
That'd be
not,
one
which
to
is
show
a
Kira.
shame. It's you can buy it.
Okay.
It's-
So
it
it's
has
like an
the 2
available
Yep.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not on my list. Okay.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
There's some great episodes. Great episodes with some really cool, creepy puppetry by the
Sure
Hensons.
is. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
it is. I'm
yeah.
sure they were allowed to go wild.
It was awesome.
Oh man, that's cool.
Next show that I think all of us watched was DuckTales. DuckTales did start in '86, but
I'm
it was.
surprised you watched DuckTales.
I watched DuckTales. I liked DuckTales. I didn't like any of the other shows.
Okay. Like No Tailspin
No,
and all the
none
other
of that
shit.
ever
Okay.
appealed to me.
Darkwing Duck.
I don't know why, and I'm not like the biggest Disney person.
That's what. Well, I
love
guess
the
that's
parks.
That's
but
why
but the
I didn't even think you
cartoons
liked
and the shows.
DuckTales.
Like I like Gummy Bears, shit like that. But like,
What's in here and there and there?
yeah, I like that.
Okay.
But DuckTales, I don't know. It
Huh.
just, and I don't know if maybe it was because like, DuckTales became a
Video game.
Well, I mean, DuckTales was everywhere. It was not only was it a Saturday morning cartoon, but it was also a after school
Like a
cartoon. It
Disney.
was one of those
Yeah.
that sort of did the crossover. He-Man did it too.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of cartoons that did it both.
Yeah.
And So I enjoyed it. After it was one of those go-tos after school.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah,
definitely DuckTales, man.
Next is a game show that started on MTV.
Oh, I didn't write this down because it didn't have the connection to it.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, you were young.
I was,
You know.
yeah.
But it's called Remote Control.
Yeah.
I think the reason it appealed to me most is because, like, one, it had music, it had movies,
Yeah.
it had television,
Yeah.
all the things I love.
I mean, I definitely like it now. Like,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it in my older years, and I'm like, okay, this is a cool
It's
show.
weird, it's silly.
Yes. Yeah, it's a cool idea for a
You know,
game show.
Adam Sandler started on this fucking show. It's just like a random. He would play goofy
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
And come out and tell like shitty jokes.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn was
Yep.
the announcer of the show.
Yep.
It was just a weird, fun MTV game show.
Yeah.
And it appealed to me as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and this does show up in my Saturday morning sleepover rotation for sure.
Good show. Good show.
You can find a lot of the episodes in fairly good quality on YouTube.
Huh.
They're just full episodes. Next is this is another show that this is a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it, and I love it to this day. And I also loved the toys, which we'll get to. But Bionic Six.
Oh, yeah, I know that's your thing.
Yeah, lots of people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about it.
Don't remember.
But it is so good. It's just this family. Well, they're not a real family, but they're a family because of the shit that happened to them. But they all have bionic parts.
Like Fantastic Four. Like they're
But there's 6 of them.
Mhm.
And it's a diverse, diverse group.
yeah, 5 white people and 1 black guy.
No, there was a black guy, there was an Asian guy,
Oh, okay.
2 women.
All right.
But yeah,
That is diverse in the 80s. For
yeah,
sure.
and they had like a robotic monkey that hung out with them, and
Is that on your rotation?
well, I don't do the cartoons anymore
Oh, okay. You just said fuck it because people are like.
because we just don't,
zoning
nobody really. But I do put the opening on
out. Okay.
because it's one of those rad. I mean, the theme song is rad.
Okay.
It's really kick-ass.
Is another Saban.
It is.
Okay, well then, I'm sure it's good.
But it's dope, and
Yeah.
and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And the toy line also debuted in '87, and it's a great toy line as well. And I had those toys.
You have those?
I have some of them. Yeah,
That
3
thing?
of them are right there.
Okay. All right.
And one of the villains is over there, the pink.
Yeah.
Pink.
I don't know. I don't recognize anything about that.
Yeah. Well, I gotta show you that opening.
Yeah.
That opening. And it's one of those openings where the production company blew their budget on the opening. You know what I mean? Like, you watch the opening of Thundercats, and then you watch
The
the
show,
show,
yeah.
and it's like, whoo! Like Rankin and Bass, like they're not, it's like a lot of cartoons. It was an Asian produced,
Yeah.
and they had to do it fucking daily, weekly type.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
constant, so the
Yeah.
animation wasn't the best.
No.
But boy, those openings are like, whoo! Whoo! That's where they blow
Even
the
X-Men.
load, you know?
It's like that.
Oh my god, the X-Men cartoon is deplorable.
But the opening is. All right.
Okay. This is another cartoon that barely anybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about when I talk about it. But it's called Dinosaurs.
It's on my list. It is on my list. If it was
Another
a
song
dinosaur
by-
in the 80s, I'm there.
By Shuki Levy and
Yeah.
Haim Saban.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I did watch this.
What a weird show. Yeah, it was a weird show. It was space dinosaurs.
Yep.
Who talked. They had dope outfits.
Yeah.
They had, they befriended teens. It was a weird, cool show.
I feel like there was a or a cereal. I feel.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I don't think so. If there was, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot of merchandising for Dinosaurs. There's a toy line, but it's like 3 toys and it's foreign or something like that. Like we didn't get them.
Interesting.
Like you can get them on eBay for like thousands of dollars.
No. I don't think so.
But the show was cool.
Yeah.
And that I have put in the rotation before.
And killed people.
And it doesn't have a proper release.
Huh.
Which is interesting. Next, I know you do not like this, but I did, and I still do. But it's the Elf cartoon.
Not the cartoon.
Yeah, I dug the cartoon. I think the theme song of the cartoon is also really, really awesome.
It's jammin' theme.
But I like it, you know, because we got to spend time in Melmac and, and see all the other elves.
Yeah.
It was cool, and I liked it, you know, and I have it.
It's a good idea for a show, for sure. Like to go to Melmac and
I guess it just didn't
adventures.
hold up to Casey as an adult.
No.
When we did watch it.
No.
You were not happy.
I was not. No,
okay, here's another show. This is a game show.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, kids in the 80s, they watched game shows. They just did. And this is one of them that I watched, particularly because I was very into drawing. But this was win, lose, or draw. And
I definitely watched this.
There were
and had the game.
There were 2 versions. There was the adult version, and then there was teen win, lose, or draw.
Yeah. I definitely watched this show.
And I watched them both. And they both had celebrity guests.
Yep.
Obviously, adult guests, teen guests. And it was you had to, win, lose, or draw. Pictionary.
It's Pictionary.
Yeah, it's a fucking great game. It's a really fun game to do in general.
Yeah, even in life. I mean, it is. Yeah,
we used to do it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, it was an LBP thing for a while. I don't know if you remember that, but I certainly do. But when we would get together and make movies, sometimes we would break out a game of Pictionary or Win, Lose, or Draw. I guess you weren't a part of those.
What? Like
but we did.
Phase 1? LBP?
No. Like with Meredith and Jesse and everybody. Yeah, I guess.
I would assume.
There's a bunch of movies you didn't do. But we did. It became like a thing for us.
Well, we got to bring it back.
Even Alec was a part of it.
Well, I mean, I've been around.
I don't know, man. Sometimes you just you're too cool for school. So
No,
you don't.
Probably. I'm also not a good drawer.
So that, and I've looked for good episodes of that. There's not a lot as far as quality is concerned.
Right. I think you can find it, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I wish it was on like a game show like network. Because isn't there still the game show network? I think there is.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard like them bringing that back to a show like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So, I don't know.
Well,
I have one more TV show
I've got a couple.
from 1980s. Okay, but from 1987, and this was I was definitely not supposed to watch this show, but I did. I stayed up late, and I would record this with nobody knowing, and then I'd watch it later.
Silk stockings.
No, the Howard Stern Show.
Oh, okay.
Began in 1987.
What was it on?
It was on Channel 9.
Okay.
And it was on late night.
Well, I'm
very late.
obviously.
It was like midnight, 1 a.m. or something like that. But boy, did I not want to miss the Howard Stern Show. I loved the humor. I loved the stupidity of it. I loved the oddballs. And of course, they had tons of half-naked women on that show.
Right.
And these were the days of the shit that I showed you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that stuff. The Bongo Fiesta.
Yeah,
and shit like that.
I listened to Howard Stern from a young age until he went to Sirius or XM or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've caught episodes here and there. I don't know why I don't listen to it, but I remember he's still hilarious. He's still doing that stuff.
Yeah, but this was
But that was obviously...
This was a fucking show. This was
Yeah.
like a weird Howard Stern.
Yeah, but we watched
show.
it on... Wasn't it on E as well? Remember?
Well,
In the 90s?
You mean like syndicate? Like they rerun that? They rerun
No,
that show?
he had his...
Well, they had that, but it
Right.
wasn't like this.
Yeah.
This was like a variety show. It was really bizarre. Those
This is
clips
like
of
that
Corey
thing?
Feldman.
Yeah.
That's on the
Okay,
Howard Stern
okay,
show.
okay,
like
okay.
those old like.
Yeah. Man, Howard Stern's fun.
Yeah. So
Well, I had... maybe the dates are wrong, but I had Fraggle Rock.
that's 85.
Why does it say 87? I don't know. Super Dave.
Oh, I didn't put that on my list, but I did watch Super Dave.
I just watched it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I have fond super memories of it, but it was something I watched. Same thing with Brave Star.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I did watch that.
I mean,
Which is
I saw it, but
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, it didn't appeal to me.
And then finally, which still I have fond memories of, is G-Force, or like Battle of the Planets.
Yeah,
They
that would be in
changed
like
the name.
syndication. And shit
Yeah.
like that.
They
USA.
changed the name. They changed all the characters' names. It's very weird, but I definitely watched the shit out of that. There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. That's television.
Now I'm gonna go to toys.
Yep.
My list is very small. These are toys that debuted in 1987.
I have 7.
But I still have some of those toys to
Yeah.
this day. One, I talked about it in my Kenner episode, but it's Sky Commanders. Sky Commanders had it did have a cartoon, but it was...
Is this the thing
it was
where they
extremely
hold this-
short.
the-
These guys, man. Look, him.
Yeah. Yep. I had some of these.
Kenner Sky Commanders. I had a lot of them. They're about the size of mask figures, the Kenner mask line. But yeah, I've talked about Sky Commanders before on the channel, and they debuted in '87, and they were awesome. And I would play, like most of us did, but I would cross-pollinate all the figures and
Of
toys
course.
that I had, and
They didn't have a show, huh?
they had a cartoon.
Okay.
They had a cartoon, but it was very short-lived. It wasn't like a long season at all.
Okay.
And you can get it through the Hanna-Barbera line on Amazon. You can just buy it. You can buy
It's
the
so weird that what comes out and what doesn't.
yeah. And there was merchandising for Sky Commanders. It just didn't last as long as some of the other stuff. But yeah, Kenner, so yeah, Sky Commanders.
Yeah.
I don't know. I certainly had this, but this was a revelation to us kids back then. The Pogo Ball.
No.
You didn't have the Pogo Ball?
No.
Well, I did. 1987 introduced the Pogo Ball. It was a ball with a deck around the ball.
Yeah.
And you...
Think about a skateboard with a hole in the middle where there's like a deflated basketball inside of it.
And
You safely jump. I mean...
It bounced.
Yeah.
You held yourself up by holding in tight with your legs, and you just fucking bounced on it.
Yeah.
The Pogo Ball.
Safety hazard.
Yeah.
For sure. Probably
I
didn't
don't
last long.
know if they still make the Pogo Ball or some sort of iteration
Like I said,
of
it
that.
would be...
But I would like to have one, just to have
Have
it
it.
in my collection.
Yeah.
To display it, because it was it was cool.
I
It
do
was fun.
remember. Yeah, I remember. I don't think we had one.
I definitely had a Pogo Ball, and the thing with the Pogo Ball is like every kid ruined them. Every kid destroyed them.
Yeah. Probably I don't have it.
I have Bionic Six, like I talked about,
Oh.
and there is an episode on this channel that you can go check out down below. Great toy line, great cartoon, really love it. And then the last thing that I have on my list, which was significant, and this was because my family was tired of me fucking up our video camera. So
I have this right down.
this was the Fisher Price PXL 2000. As a kid who was making backyard movies with a full-blown camcorder, to go down in quality to the PXL 2000 was a real bummer. But because I was sort of banned from it for a while, this is all I had. And this was an actual Fisher Price video camera.
Mm-hmm.
But what was unique about it was that it recorded onto tape. It was special, like a cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
And it was black and white.
Yeah.
But this is what I had, and I used it until I broke it. But it was a big deal. You know, they got me the whole thing. They got me tapes. They got a carrying case for me. The everything I needed to be a young filmmaker.
Yep.
10 years old.
Yep.
And I remember I shot a Freddy epic on my PXL 2000, and this is when Dream Warriors came out.
Epic being like 10 minutes, probably.
Well, I had like so it was all the neighborhood kids,
Yeah.
and Bobby and April,
Yeah.
and they were on this tape, and I was Freddy, and I kept calling everyone wench because I wouldn't say bitch,
yeah.
you know. So you're gonna die, wench. And I had, I had a winter glove with butter knives taped to the winter glove. I think they probably like just put makeup on my face.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fedora because I was like, where the fuck am I gonna get a fedora? So I just had like a shitty like hat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably looked like a hobo or something like that. But I don't know, but I shot this Freddy epic on the PXL 2000, 87, 88.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the coolest thing. But, to go from the highs of,
Wow.
of an
Color.
actual camcorder. Yeah.
VHS. Like, I remember this, you had to plug it into the TV
Yeah.
in order to watch it. So you had to have the camcorder hooked up still and then play. I don't remember if it used batteries or if it used,
I think it was both.
or if you had to stay plugged in. Well, I'm assuming if you went outside,
Yeah.
you were able to go
I mean, I
out.
definitely, I was
Yeah.
running around with it.
I got this for Christmas one year,
Yeah.
maybe around the same time, but yeah, I do have fond memories of this machine.
It's another
should
one of
find
those.
it. I wonder
Yeah,
if
it's
I
another
can
one of
find
those that I want to re-get just to have.
Yeah, I
Just
like that. That'd be cool.
This was a big memory for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you young filmmakers out there,
You don't know the struggles.
do yourself a favor and find a PXL 2000. Make your epic.
Yeah, screw your iPhones. I have laser tag.
That was 87.
I don't know if these are right dates, but it says.
Ah.
When I went through, probably the same thing you did. Wikipedia
I mean, I
or
had
something.
laser tag.
So I have laser tag. I've got G.I. Joe this size written down on the list.
I don't know.
I have Micro Machines.
Yeah, I didn't collect any of that
I
stuff.
did. I was into like what are those things?
Hot Wheels?
and all that
Yeah,
shit.
I
So
like it.
yeah. I have Pound Puppies.
That was 87. Yeah, that doesn't
Maybe
seem
for
right.
the toys.
I
maybe
don't
not for
know.
the cartoon.
That seems a little. Maybe it was a cartoon.
Koosh Ball.
Is that the?
The like hairy,
Yeah.
ball.
Okay. All right.
and then Teddy Ruxpin.
That was 85.
Why do I have this random?
I have no
Is
idea.
it 85 America? Or
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it came out in 85.
so anyway, maybe they came out, maybe they don't. Do you want me to just run through video games?
Yeah. What were your special you know, I mean, you weren't playing them in '87.
Not all of them, no. I can tell you which ones I actually played.
Yeah.
So the Karate Kid video game, I did not play that game at that time, but I remember it. It's very shitty. Well, sorry. It's shitty when you're fighting. It was cool that they had... Do you remember this? They had those interim things where you would, like, have to try to catch a fly with chopsticks. Or you had to, like, break the ice. So it was like, you walked, it was like a side-scroller, you would do kicks and all that stuff, but then they would have, like, these in-between stages where it was, like, a different perspective entirely, where you're just seeing, like, chopsticks and a fly, and you're trying to, like, get it. It was very weird, but... So I do remember that. You remember that?
I didn't play the Karate Kid.
Okay.
You kidding me?
Oh, you're a big Karate Kid fan.
I know, but movie video games, like, I didn't, that wasn't a thing for me.
So you have an E.T. game.
Well...
What?
They all ended up being terrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like,
you know,
it's not like you were... At that time, if I saw a video game, you know, a movie turned video game, I probably tried to play it.
I did play. I guess I did own the Ghostbusters Sega games.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Moonraker or whatever his name is, Moonwalker. Yeah. So I'm just GoldenEye is one of the greatest games of all time. All right, Contra. I did play at that time.
I did like Contra. Yeah.
Punch Out. Also played at that time.
Man, that's '87.
Again,
it seems so
this
much earlier.
Wikipedia article could be wrong.
Okay.
Mega Man. Still one of my favorite franchises to this day. Double Dragon.
It was '87?
Tell me.
Whew.
Castlevania 2. Simon's Revenge or whatever it is.
I definitely played Double Dragon.
Shinobi. And then finally Rad Racer. Which was like one of those games where I feel like...
So Contra,
you just got.
Double Dragon, those are pretty big hitters.
Those are huge. Mega Man's huge.
I guess Mega Man, 87 though. Yeah, it just seems so...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, cool. So
35 years.
It was a good time to be alive.
All
right, so finally, Muzak.
Shit.
You got a lot?
I do, but... well, I guess I don't.
I mean, I got like 20 songs.
Okay,
I've got more music than I have in other... Maybe because, 6, I started remembering more than I did at younger ages.
A few of these I wrote down just because of their significance. Like, I don't own some of these.
Yeah.
Some of them, obviously, I do.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'll say that. Like, some of the songs I don't really give a shit now, but definitely back then, I was probably listening to it quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I guess right off the bat, 87 gave us Bad. The next amazing Michael Jackson.
Oh, no, okay, I have it right down. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Michael Jackson's Bad.
Yes.
That album.
I was just listening to it yesterday.
I mean,
with Kira.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
It's a great album. Not as good as Thriller as far as I'm concerned.
No, personally, I think Off the Wall is my favorite album.
Really?
Yep. I like the songs.
There's
a little bit better.
I like probably 4 songs off the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, but those songs are like, for me, just high.
Well, I mean, this is like.
But Bad's good. I mean, Bad's good album.
Bad's good. Bad is good. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was a huge album.
Yeah.
He was back, baby.
Back in black.
He was back and badder than ever.
Well, back in slightly less black.
Yeah. The start of the downfall.
Yeah.
So the Cars released Door to Door, which had the single "You Are the Girl," which is one of my favorite Cars songs.
I don't have that on here. But that is a great song.
Well, I'm a big Cars guy.
We haven't done a Cars episode.
Yeah, I'm sure we
should. We've seen the Cars.
We have.
And I bet you it's a very small amount of people on this channel who could say they've seen the Cars live.
Yeah.
Because they took such a long fucking hiatus. You have to be of a certain
True.
age.
Yeah,
and then
true.
be in that lucky...
Well, they could have been like us.
Well, yeah,
Like
but I'm
when they
saying
came
like
back out,
in
they
that
were like-
very small time period.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. Yeah, that was great. Cars great.
The Oingo Boingo album Boingo came out, which had the hits Where Do All My Friends Go, We Close Our Eyes, and Not My Slave.
I don't know where the hell I got this list.
Then, of course, we get Fresh Prince.
Have we done an Oingo Boingo episode?
No. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all you.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do anything.
Whatever.
I am, man. You ain't got,
Well,
you
We
ain't
Close
got
Our
no
Eyes
time.
is like one of my favorite songs. Period.
Fresh Prince, Rock the House, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble.
Wow, that's a fact.
That song came out. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
The White Snake album with the 87 version of Here I Go Again
Yeah, I have that.
and Is This Love.
Yeah.
Those were both big hits.
Yeah.
Belinda Carlisle, her self-titled album was released, which of
It's on
course
there.
has Heaven on Earth. Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Yeah.
That was everywhere.
Yep.
In Excess, their album Kick came out, which had a lot of hits.
Written down. I wonder if I'm on a whole different year.
Well, I mean, these are songs and bands that I
Yeah, I
really
know.
enjoy.
But I'm saying like, yeah.
And
Right.
Kick was significant. I mean, I Need You Tonight.
Your knees are
Anyway, yeah, the album is fantastic. Here's a significant album for you rockers. Def Leppard's Hysteria came out. Almost every song on that album was a hit. But that was huge, and
Yeah.
I still love the songs from that album. Another big one that I really love and still love to this day is Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
I'm going off a whole new list. Yeah,
1987.
like, there's no way I wouldn't have some of this shit written down.
How could you not consider yourself welcomed to the jungle? You were all going down to Paradise City, where the grass is green and the girls had big titties.
Me and my sister would like kind of Weird Al these things, and we'd say
Of
well,
course.
the grass is brown and the girls are shitty, and we'd laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Still laugh. Stupid.
So guess what else came out?
I have a lot of things written down that
Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation, Dude Looks Like a Lady was everywhere.
I have written a great song.
And
This is Doubtfire.
You better believe. Oh, I mean, the album also had Ragdoll.
Yeah.
Never Gonna Move.
I actually love
Hot Train.
that song. I like I mean, I know I'm not like April about Aerosmith, but I am a big, I like Aerosmith quite a bit.
Oh, I had that album for sure.
I'm sure.
10 years old, that cassette was
Yeah.
dope. That was like, I mean, same with fucking Appetite for Destruction. My God. Now, so I wrote this down. These two artists, I didn't have them, but I wrote them because they were significant in 1987 and the songs were everywhere. Whitney, the Whitney album, I Want to Dance with Somebody, was all over the radio. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I get so emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Debbie Gibson's Out of the Blue came out.
Yeah. I have that.
Which was a big album.
Okay.
I don't readily listen to Debbie Gibson
Mhm.
or Whitney, but I can't disregard those songs and how big those artists were back then.
Well, you
I mean,
like
they
the
were everywhere.
songs now.
Yeah, they're good
You wouldn't,
songs.
like,
They're
get the
like
whole
catchy
album
songs,
necessarily.
but I wouldn't get the whole album.
Yeah.
And because I had so many female friends growing up, and like the majority of my cousins, other than you and Brian, I guess, were all female.
This is true.
So everybody listened to this shit. So it was
Yeah.
just around. You know,
Yeah.
my sister, everybody. It was,
Yeah.
What else? So Madonna, her album "Who's That Girl" came out.
I have that written down.
You know, it was a soundtrack, but I certainly wasn't. I didn't care that it was a soundtrack. It was just the music was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
"Who's That Girl" was definitely on the radio all over the place. I loved Madonna. I didn't get that album.
I was gonna say I don't think I really like this album, but
No.
that song.
And then my last. Motley Crue was on here for 87 because their album "Girls, Girls, Girls" came out.
Huh.
And again, that was everywhere.
Is this your okay? Because I have so many other songs on here.
Well, these are this is stuff that I personally
No, but okay, so like
like.
I have "Hip to Be Square." I know you like that song.
Well, I
Did
do.
I get it off a different list or something?
Maybe you did. I don't know. Maybe I didn't put it down because like I didn't really particularly like the album.
I
You
just
know?
put some of the hits though.
Oh, okay, so you did songs.
Yeah, you did full albums.
Like John Cougar Mellencamp. I know you're not a fan of his,
No.
but I love him. And his album Lonesome Jubilee came out, which had the hits Paper and Fire.
Hits.
They are. Check It Out. And one of my favorite John Mellencamp songs ever, Cherry Bomb. That came out in 1987.
Okay. I have. Okay, I'm gonna name some songs. "Walk Like an Egyptian"
From the Bangles.
from the Bangles. I'm not a huge fan of this song, but I can't doubt its power. "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
That was 87?
I'm telling you, so some of the things you said are on this list, so I'm assuming I'm right.
Okay.
"Everybody Have Fun Tonight."
Wayne Chong.
Yep. "Don't Dream It's Over."
Okay.
Crowded House.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that song. But I do like Wayne Chong.
Yeah. You don't like this at all, but I like them, and these songs are everywhere. U2,
Oh, yeah.
With or Without You,
Definitely. hate
and
U2.
still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Idol, Moni Moni.
I didn't like that. I
That
don't like the song
version?
in general.
Yeah.
I like Billy Idol, but I didn't like them.
I like his version more than the other version.
Yeah.
Lean on Me by Club Nouveau.
Yeah,
Again,
were you rocking that a lot back then?
are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
Oh my
Terrible.
god! Because that
We be jamming! We be
Yes!
jamming!
that movie was big to my family, I
Oh,
guess.
no.
And then that song, oh my god, yes.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they played that shit all the time. Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms.
That's a great song.
Yep.
87?
Again.
Man, I don't know.
I know you don't like this. I don't think you like this group, but this is a song that I can remember playing in the car all the time, which is Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies.
Yeah, I'm not. The song is very popular.
Yes. Tell me lies, tell me sweet
Wow, that's
little
87?
lies.
Okay.
This is, now that you said it, I can't believe that this song is an 87 song, but I have it written down, which was La Isla Bonita by Madonna, because I thought that was a 90s song. But
No, it is 87.
Okay.
It is 87.
I love that song. Just love it.
That might be on that album.
Rhythm Is Gonna Get You,
Oh yeah,
From
I don't like
Gloria Estefan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that.
I don't know how this isn't on there. Again, Fight for Your Right by the Beastie Boys.
That's 86.
It's 86?
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, my favorite song in this whole list, and my favorite song by the Pretenders, Don't Get Me Wrong.
Oh, wow.
That
Really?
is one of my favorite 80s songs of all time. Love it.
Interesting.
I love the Pretenders. I think
I like the
Christy Hynde
Pretenders.
is gross looking, but I cannot deny her power. I think she is just fantastic.
Back on the Chain Gang.
Oh, I love that song.
That's a great song.
And the Smiths do a cover of that song. So yeah,
87.
87.
35 years.
Woo! It took 2 episodes to get through 1987.
Yeah.
And we could have gone off on tangents. On some of these deserve their own episodes.
They definitely, you know, like you said,
Oingo
why we
Boingo.
haven't done Oingo Boingo yet is a mystery to me, but
The Cars.
we'll I mean,
we'll add it into the rotation.
it's gonna have to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Oingo Boingo was gonna be on one of the ska episodes, which, you know, we should probably do again.
Wow, we have mountains of material.
Yeah. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
You know, we really gotta get shit like.
I think the thing is with us is we do other things too. Like we go to the movies a lot, or we have family nights,
Yeah.
and we're not recording. So I still see you all the time. We just don't record every time we see each other.
Yeah, I guess we should.
I
you
mean,
know.
we watched movies the other day all day, but we didn't fucking record it. Or we've been doing a lot of commentaries, which no one on the channel is gonna get to see. Anyway,
Unless they buy the films.
more content will be coming. Still early 2022. We've also been working a lot on a project,
Yeah.
and that's been taking up a lot of like us time,
Yeah.
which I'm happy with. I'm happy to be putting in the work on this project as opposed to, I mean, prioritizing a little
Yeah,
bit. I
yeah.
guess. That's all I'll say.
I think it's trying to have more consistency with this channel
Yeah.
and or podcast type shit in general. You
Right.
know, where you and Walk have a thing, right? Is it almost set?
It's
Kinda set?
It's every other week,
Okay.
but it's never the same day.
Okay.
And now that he works a normal job, it's thrown everything out of whack.
Alright.
Because we used to record during the daytime, like when Kira was napping on a weekday, and now we don't. So, anyway, we have a lot of ideas for other episodes.
We'll
We'll put them out as we can.
Yeah. But there you go. Comment, you know?
Yeah.
Let us know. Again, try not to say, but why don't you have this? And it's because
There's
we
a
don't
reason
like it.
why.
Yeah, there's a reason. But we'd like to hear your picks, you know? You know, everybody's different. Everybody has different tastes. And
I mean, our lists are not always the same either.
Yeah.
So, just like you guys put on what you're into, what you're about from that year, and we'll be happy to talk about it.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, that was great.
Hit subscribe, share with your friends, look at the episodes that we have done, like Bionic Six and Saved by the Bell and all that kind of stuff that, you know, are offshoots of this episode.
Yeah. You know, I think what's great, but is also a little like, you know, it's a double-edged sword, is that we have so many episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think new subscribers haven't really gone through everything yet and are just checking out the more recent stuff.
Yeah.
And they haven't dug into, you know, I've thought about like reposting on all the social medias. Like, hey, you know, if you haven't seen this episode, check out this episode. Because sometimes
I think
it
it's
can be relevant to what's happening in the zeitgeist.
I
or
think
whatever,
you're right.
you know?
Like, if a new He-Man comes out, it's a good idea to say, hey, if you're
Here are
into
the
He-Man,
He-Man
check
episodes.
out
Yeah,
Crap
yeah.
from Eternia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be...
That's more my fault. I should probably be doing that.
Oh, we just didn't think about it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, because just recently I've gotten a few people in the comments, in private messages saying, how come you haven't talked about Ernest yet? You know, like, we haven't done Ernest.
We haven't done Ernest?
No. It's weird, you know.
Yeah, all right. We'll do.
I know, like why haven't we?
Well, there's a lot of things. Why haven't we done Predator? Why haven't we? And then the other thing is, guys, we used to have a podcast for years, and we did do a lot of things on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I think we did do Predator.
We did Ernest. We did do it.
Yeah. So
on the
I mean,
podcast, but we just didn't.
we just
do it.
haven't done it on the channel yet. So coming back to some of the stuff, which is fine. We're happy to do it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll get there. We have it's a list. It's a list that I think
We gotta do a
need to
live
write
show
down.
again soon.
Yeah.
We gotta do that.
We're just a mess, but we appreciate the eyes that are on this channel.
Yep.
And you know, we'll get there, folks. Thank you for sticking around and enjoying the crap from the 80s. And we'll see you on another erotic episode, I'm sure.
For sure.
So, bye all.